Good morning, Wildcats. It's a fantastic Wednesday here at West Lane. All right, so we've already had like 180 people chime in on what they think the name should be for the new mascot. Now, today, Wednesday, the last day you can nominate a name for the West Lane Wildcat mascot. What I've also heard is that many in my favorite advisory, Mr. Newsom's class, is afraid. Many are afraid of the mascot. So I don't know what that means, but that advisory also can be fooled pretty easily. So maybe they can be scared easily too, huh? Huh? I'm talking about Mr. Newsom's advisory. So if they can be fooled and scared easily, maybe the mascot's not for them. Maybe Mr. Newsom, you should fast forward through the mascot part. Everybody also is doing a great job on presenting what the mascot might be. We'll start voting tomorrow. And then what I will do is I will then cut down a name for Friday. And then I will cut down two names and give you like a final three as you keep voting. And so then make sure we get the right person here. And then we will actually name it on Monday. And then the incoming fifth graders can see and interact with the mascot when they come and visit here on the 9th and 10th next week. And then our rededication is on the 16th, so we can have a mascot for that too. And we can have a name. And Mr. Roberts is working on getting a jersey for me for football, hopefully number 56, because we were, true story, we were dedicated and we were built and we were opened in 1956, West Lane was. All right, so there's a history lesson for you. Let's get to announcements and make sure you keep putting those names up for ideas for the name for the West Lane Wildcat, except for one advisory that's a little bit too scared of the mascot. So it's okay. All right. All right. Today is Wednesday, May the 3rd, 2023. And these are your morning announcements. West Lane Middle School is an avid school-wide side distinction. The mission of West Lane Middle School is to reveal the genius of each Wildcat through a culture of joy, respect, and excellence. We believe every person deserves to be seen, affirmed, and to grow. Let's get Wildcat ready, everyone. Our lanyards and IDs are around our necks. Our binders and our agenda books are with us. Backpacks, fanny packs, and purses in our lockers. Hats, sunglasses, and hoods are off. AirPods and phones are in our lockers. Seventh graders, next week, we're going to start, seventh and sixth graders, too. We're going to start tightening up your phone privileges. That means if we even see a phone in the pocket, we will make you put it back in your locker, because next year we have to take it if it's in your pocket and not in your locker. And so we are going to start getting you ready for that now. And I will send out, and I will let you know again, we're going to make you put it back in your locker, period. Eighth grade, that does not apply to you guys. You guys have been really good with the phones, but just make sure you don't have them out. All right, blankets stay at home. And also, too, if sixth and seventh graders are not really happy with this, you go to another middle school, but you can't because every middle school in Washington Township will be following this plan. All right. Our schedule for today is advisory, periods 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then advisory. Starting strong is good, finishing strong is epic. That's from Mr. Robin Sharma. Let's be epic Wildcats. All right, there we go. Name the Wildcat mascot. Again, Mr. Newsom, you might want to skip over this slide. I know your class frightens easily. Name it. Give me your names on the sheet, and we'll put out the voting sheet starting on Thursday, and get your names in there. And I'll give you guys a kind of a list of like the top 10 names that were submitted at our poll. All right, let's clean up West Lane. Make sure we're cleaning up trashes in the hallway, trash in the cafeteria, trash in the classroom, trash in the restroom. Make sure we are keeping trash in the can, and we're picking up after ourselves. On time, every time. That's Wildcat time. Don't forget our Day of Good is coming. It's honor of Mr. Goodman. He's a former avid teacher, but we also want to do a Day of Good for him. It honors him. We also raise funds for his scholarship over at the high school. And this day is on Wednesday, May 24th. And then you can buy shirts for this, a color war, blue for sixth grade, red for seventh grade, black for eighth grade. All orders and payments are due to Mrs. Kleeman by May the 5th. That's this Friday. All right, we have penny wars, and you get a penny for every, you put a penny in for every class, it gets you a point. But other people can actually It's almost like Mario Kart when you start throwing shells and throwing mushrooms at people, where they can get like that hurts them. So if you put coins in other people's penny wards, like you're putting in nickels and quarters, 5 points gets deducted. And if you put a dollar bill in someone else's coin, 10 points gets deducted. So it's gonna be interesting to see which class is the highest score wins. I might start having to give out winners each week or leaders, so you guys can put multiple coins and stuff in their bin to get them to lose. All right. Don't forget, this is a fundraiser, so t-shirts can be purchased until May 5th. Snacks will be sold on Day of Good. Kona Ice will be available on Day of Good. Yards to add money, votes for lip sync winners, money to buy chances to pie a teacher in the face, and penny wars. More details about Day of Good and what to expect is forthcoming, but for right now, those are the important things you need to know. If you have any questions, please see Ms. Kleeman in room 7C102. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, Heritage Month. We call it AAPI Heritage Month. And the question for today was, what year was Asian American and Pacific Islander Month first observed? Why is it in May? We had a lot of answers on this, but a lot of like almost right, sort of correct. I got some 2009s. I think you guys Googled the wrong thing there, where President Obama had just proclaimed it to be Asian American Pacific Islander Month, but every president does that at the start of every kind of month. But the answer is, in June of 1977, a couple of representatives from New York, Frank Horton and Norman Mineta from California, introduced a resolution to establish AAPI Heritage Week. Of course, a lot of these times start out with a week and they end up being a month, to be celebrated each year at the beginning of May. Hawaiian Senators Daniel Inouye and Spark Matsunaga introduced similar legislation in the Senate. The following year, Jimmy Carter signed it into law, a joint resolution to establish an annual event, and the first celebration took place for the week in May of 1979. In 1992, the month of May, the whole month of May, was designated by President George H.W. Bush as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. That's the first part. Why is it in May? AAPI month is in May to commemorate the first Japanese immigrant on May 7th, 1843, and the Transcontinental Railroad was completed in May of 1869. The railroad was completed largely by Asian Pacific immigrants. And although a lot of us got a little parts of the question right, the best answer was Miss Martini's advisory. They nailed it completely, and I did it so well. Got the 1979 part right, and then 1992 part right, and then the immigration. So nice job. Come on down there. Ms. Martini, we're sending one down for your treat. All right, let's take a look at tutoring tonight. And it is Mr. Gump with 7th grade social studies. All right, don't forget, NWEA is happening. Right now, it's happening in math class, May 1st through the 5th. Actually, we're going to go all the way till that Thursday when period 8 ends. Make sure we're coming up from lunch, lunch people, quietly and quickly. I did see, now, if you could take a few tips from Miss Jagel's period 6 class. They came down yesterday after I was testing for Ms. Marvel's class. They were silent. I didn't even know they were in the hallway, and they were awesome. So period 6, Ms. Jagel class, she did a great job yesterday. Reading is next week. So reading will be in your English classes next week. We'll start makeups here on Friday for math. I think everybody done and not get finished. Don't forget too, there are 2 parts to your score, a RIT and a percentile. RIT is the score you get. Percentile is where you are comparing with the other grade level students in the world. Meeting your growth goal, which is usually 3 RIT points, keeps you at the same percentile. To go from percentile, you need to grow more than your expected growth. So again, at 215 in the 6th grade is at 59th percentile, but at 215 in the spring for 8th grade ends up being at 32nd percentile, but you can also fall throughout the year. So that's why you want to make sure you maintain your growth goal. Don't forget about the end of the year food drive. Help families within our community by collecting and donating non-perishable food items, such as cereal, canned proteins, which is canned meat, canned vegetables, boxed and canned soup, and grains, pasta, and rice. We do have a drop-off donation up to the office, and it goes all the way till next Friday, May 12th. All food should be eaten in the cafetorium. No food should be eaten outside the cafetorium. And breakfast students, you must report directly off the to the cafetorium off the bus to get breakfast. All cell phones are in your locker between 9:15 and 4:15. They'll be taken if they're seen or heard. All right, so way back Wednesday today, on a scale of, again, Miss Probase was the easiest, 100% got this one right. and Mr. Reynolds was the hardest, with Miss Muller being a 4 and Miss Wilson being a 3. I don't know who's a 2 is. Mr. Feesback was a 2. This is a 1. I'm going to assume everybody who guesses today will get this one right. This is a 1. I think this one is a very easy. I'll be surprised though if you don't get them right. I've been surprised before. So who is this who did this person become? Staff member grown up at West Lane. Okay, so send your guesses and your advisory name to my email in Canvas, in my Canvas inbox. Make sure you put your advisory name and who you think this is. Pretty easy, I think. And don't forget our West Lane School motto: Cada Wildcat, cada dia mejora, which means every Wildcat every day gets better. I know that there were some long announcements today, but thank you for staying with us and have a great Wednesday.